Hi, guys. Happy Tuesday. If you are tuning in live, please let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. Um, this is officially part one of a live series I am doing this week and next week. So I am so excited. It's called Videos That Make Sales. So, again, we are in part one. Now, if you are tuning in right now live, please let me know in the comments if you can see me okay, you can hear me before we get into the good stuff. Just a couple of things I wanted to mention. So, coming in live, you do get a free workbook. So you can grab that in the description below. It's a Google document. So you're going to, or sorry, so it's a Google Doc. So you'll have to make a copy and save it to your Google Drive. Okay. So it should prompt you already to make a copy. If you have any issues using the workbook, please let me know and I'll make sure if I need to adjust the link or anything. But be sure to grab the copy and it will also be available to you if you're also watching the replay. Okay, amazing. So you can see me, you can hear me. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, welcome to Videos That Make Sales. Let me just add in the slides here and make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so I am so excited, you guys. So have the workbook ready to go because we are going to go through some exercises together. I want to make sure you basically have an action plan after every single day. So part one, as you know, you're watching right now. Part two is coming this Thursday. Okay. So you're just going to focus on the part one exercises. And the goal is to finish up the part one exercises before we get into part two of Thursday. Of course, you can take your time and, you can complete the workbook at the very end of this whole live series, but just know it's available to you at any time. Okay. So let's get into it. So I'm so glad you guys got the workbook. That is awesome. Okay. So, Videos That Make Sales. This is part one of four. So, there's going to be four parts to this. And this one, we are specifically focusing on how to attract views and buyers. Hi, Jill. So good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. So, I find a lot of advice that we get online on YouTube is how to get more views, how to get more subscribers. And that's great if you're an influencer and you are trying to reach a big audience, right? But when it comes to business owners, when we have something to offer, we don't necessarily just want views. We want to make sure that we are reaching the right people that are actually going to buy from us. So that's why we're focusing on how to attract views. We still need the views because we still need people to find us, but also how to attract buyers to our videos. So this is basically the roadmap that I'm going to be taking you guys through in this 4-part series. So part one, we're going to plan your videos for your unique channel and your unique audience. Okay. So by the end of this, you're going to have a content plan. So basically 4 videos in a month. So you're going to see what mine looks like and how I like to organize mine. But we're going to plan out your videos first. Then part 2, we're going to validate your videos. So we want to make sure that any videos that you're going to put time into are actually guaranteed to reach the right people. Okay. So we can have a massive list of great video topics that we think are going to attract our audience, but we want to validate that it's actually what they're going to find and it's what's going to help them convert. So part 3 is structure. So this is where we're going to structure your video. So basically how to script your video in order to, part 4, convert. So how we want to convert your viewers into leads and customers. Okay. So that is the roadmap. And today we are in part 1, which we are going to plan. So if you are just coming in, make sure to grab your free workbook in the description box below. It's going to help you go through the exercises we are going through today. Okay. So as I mentioned, this is what it looks like. It's a Google Doc. So you're just going to make a copy and save it to your Google Drive. Okay. And if you're tuning in the replay, it's available for you in the description box. All right. Okay, so first thing is first, let's talk about why YouTube is so powerful for selling your offers and your educational digital products. Okay, so this training is perfect for you if you are a course creator, you're a coach, or you're an entrepreneur that wants to sell educational digital products and you're trying to figure out the best way to sell them on repeat. Now, this also works for you if you already have a channel or you're thinking of starting one and you're trying to figure out what is the best platform. So I am here to convince you that YouTube is the best platform and here is why. So number one, it is the second largest search engine in the world. So it is owned by Google. And this means that people are coming onto YouTube and searching for solutions to their problems. Okay. So they have more of a buyer's mindset. They are looking for solutions. And when your videos pop up, they are more invested in your content and they're more willing to purchase from you down the road. So because it's a search engine, your videos can get discovered for months and years to come. So when you optimize your videos for search traffic, it can get discovered for years. I have videos that I published 3 years ago that still grow my email list today. People are still finding it. They're still asking me questions. And that feels very different than posting on social media, right? Like I feel like I have to post on Instagram every single day to stay visible. And I don't typically have comments from like a post I made years ago on Instagram that's still growing my email list or getting clients from those old posts, right? But YouTube is very different. And the authority that you build on YouTube is so different than really quick, like social media posts, like Instagram Reels and TikToks. Because think of the fact that when someone watches a long form video from you, like a 10-minute, 12-minute video, they are sitting with you and they are pretty much building a connection, a relationship with you when they're watching you. So they know, like, and trust you much quicker than a quick 10-second Instagram reel, right? And it builds community. I have truly, I credit YouTube to building my community. I'm able to connect with them on a regular basis through my email list. Even people that find me on Instagram, they found me from YouTube. So people will find me on YouTube, they'll follow me on Instagram, they'll DM me, and I connect with them more. And so it's the best way to build this community around what you do. And let me actually just take myself off here because I want you to see all this. So basically, these are comments that I get on a regular basis inside my videos. So people are asking me, do you have any courses? Can you be my mentor? Do you have a coaching course? Do you have a course? Like you can see all these comments, right? These are people that are finding my videos and they are commenting. They're asking me if I have something to offer. So think about anything that you have to offer, whether you're working on it now or you already have one, whether it's a course, an ebook, a workshop, a coaching program, etc. Instead of going out there to find your people, they are finding you, right? So it's more of like pull marketing versus push marketing. And that's what I just love about YouTube. Like, I don't know about you, I don't like to cold message people. I don't like doing cold like sales calls. It's just not me. It doesn't come natural to me. But like that's why YouTube works for me so well, because like I love the fact that I can post all this great content and people will find me and they'll come to me and they'll ask me, right? So let me know if you can relate to that. Let me know in the comments. Okay, so let's get started. Most people starting a YouTube channel tend to target random video topics that they think will get a lot of traction, when in reality, they have no clarity on who they're trying to attract and what they want to be known for. So whether you already have a channel or you're thinking of getting started, it's very natural to think that if you target very broad topics that get a high search volume every month, that you're gonna have a huge, like thousands and hundreds of thousands of views, and some of those people are bound to buy from you, right? The problem with that is that YouTube is constantly trying to figure out two things: who you're trying to attract and what you want to be known for, right? If it cannot figure out those two things, it's going to be really, really hard to get discovered by the right people. And that's why it's really important that we get clear on that now before we invest time into producing videos. Okay. So just to show you an example, this is why it's so incredibly important to be very clear and specific on who you're trying to attract on YouTube. So this is Margot. Before Margot joined my program, she had very random video topics that she was covering on her channel. She's a busy working mom, and she wanted to basically attract more busy working moms and teach them about confidence, about work-life balance, and how to achieve your goals. Now, if you look at all of these, they're okay, but they're very broad. We don't know who she's targeting and what is the specific outcome of these videos. And they're kind of a little bit, they're not very connected, right? So you can see, hopefully you can see the numbers I'm circling here. But first video, 139 views, 59 views, 85 views. So it was really hard for her to get above 150 views on average on her channel. Now, I will put in a disclaimer here that views are not everything. This is really, really important. You want to make sure that the people that are watching are the right people, right? However, When she got clear on exactly who she was targeting, she started attracting the right people and many of them. So we got very, very specific on how to position her channel. And we realized that she loves decluttering, home organization and decluttering. Okay. For busy working moms. Do you see how much more how specific that is versus how to feel more motivated, right? As a busy working mom. So you can see from the numbers I've circled, the first one, 8,000 views, 74,000 views, 45,000 views. Now, what's most important here, it's not just the number of views, but it's the fact that she now runs a multi six-figure business with multiple high ticket coaching clients every single month. And by the way, she used to work 4 jobs and run on 2 hours of sleep a night. And again, she's a single mom, right? But then after her channel started working for her, she was able to quit her jobs and now she runs a business, a multi six-figure business, doing what she loves. So that's the power of getting clear and specific. So, and then I was a little bit all over the place in the beginning myself. So if you look at my old videos on my main channel, I didn't know what I was doing. Now, mind you, these videos have thousands of views now, but that's because people that find me now, sometimes they look back and like watch my older videos. But in the beginning, these only had maybe 50 to 100 views. So I was talking about graphic design side hustles. I was talking about Tailwind, which is a tool to grow on Pinterest. I was talking about how I grew on YouTube. So it was all over the place. I really didn't know who I was trying to attract. But then I got clear on who I wanted to serve. And at the time, so this was years ago, my main niche, my main topics were how to sell digital products on Etsy, and specifically using tools like Canva, right? Like more beginner-friendly graphic design tools. And you can see from the views, over 500,000 views, over 300,000 views, over 400,000 views. 400,000 views. Now, again, it's not all about views. However, when I did get very, very clear, I was selling Etsy classes at the time. And I also had an Etsy coaching program, and those were filling up very quickly because I was reaching the right people and a lot of them. Okay. Because I got very, very specific on who I wanted to attract. And by the way, guys, actually, I think I'm seeing a couple of questions come in. If you have a question that you would like me to answer at the end, could you put a Q beside and then ask me the question so I can go through and I will answer your questions at the very end. So absolutely, I will go through that when we get through this. Okay, so step 1. So again, if you are tuning in right now, you have a free workbook inside the description box below. So it's a Google document, make a copy, and we can start filling out that workbook now. Okay, so step 1. We want to work backwards from your offer. You have to get clear on what you are offering your audience before you make anything. This works whether you already have an offer or you're working on one. You have to have an idea of who you're trying to attract and what you want to offer these people. Okay. So first things first, who is your ideal client? Who is your ideal viewer? Okay. Who is that one customer, that one buyer that you are trying to attract? And don't worry, I'm going to give you examples of all of these in a bit. What is your offer? Okay. By the way, all these questions are inside your workbook. What is your offer? And you want to focus on just one. Okay. Now, we'll talk about this a little bit more as we go through this training. It is really important to have one offer that you are focused on majority of the time. But I know many people tuning in might have a few educational digital products that they want to offer. You might have an ebook. You might be working on a mini course. You might want to have a coaching program in the future. That's okay for now. But with that being said, every time I plan out a batch of videos. When I say a batch of videos, I mean like 4 to 5 videos that's going to go out the following month. I like to have one call to action that I'm focusing on for those videos. Okay. So what is your offer? Just focus on one. This could be your ebook. This could be your course. Okay. What is your offer focused lead magnet? Okay. This can be a freebie, a webinar, a strategy call, or whatever it is that you're offering for free to get people to eventually come into your world. So basically your email list, or again, like a strategy call, so that you can follow up with your paid offer. Okay. So you might already have a lead magnet, but just in case you don't, I want to explain what a lead magnet is. So it's a free guide. It could be a PDF guide. It could be a cheat sheet. It could be a video training. It could be an email series, but it's something that people have to give their email address in exchange to get it, right? So the reason for that is YouTube is incredibly powerful for growing your email list, and your email list is incredibly powerful for making sales. So here is my experience and my recommendation. I always find that growing your email list through YouTube and then pitching your offer through your email list is much more powerful than asking people to buy right on the video, because I feel like we haven't built that trust yet and that connection yet in one or two YouTube videos, but we can connect with them further the more and more we get to the more and more they get to know us in the YouTube videos and in your email list. Okay. So what is your offer focused lead magnet? Okay. Offer focus. This has to be highly relevant to your offer. Okay. So let's go over a couple of examples so that this can help you figure out how you can fill out your workbook. So this is my example. So the first question is, who is your ideal client? So she's an entrepreneur. This is mine. She's an entrepreneur, coach, or full-time employee who wants to sell digital products, but keeps getting stuck trying to do it on her own, unsure what to make or whether anyone will actually buy it. She's juggling a busy schedule with her job, her business, and her family while trying to build an income stream that gives her more freedom, whether that means extra money on the side right now or eventually building something big enough to leave her job for good. Okay, so you might be questioning who your ideal client is. You might be questioning how to describe this person, your ideal viewer. And this is the best way to describe them, because I find many people have different strategies, right? On like what we should describe about who our audience is, like what their demographics are, what their psychographics are, right? Like what are their fears, their motivations, their desires, etc. But I find the easiest way to describe who this person is just think about yourself. Because usually we build a business that's based on ourselves, right? Because that's the person we can help the most. So who were you either a few months ago or even a few years ago? Just describe that person. I literally did that here. That's who I was. I was building a digital product business on the side while working full time. And my goal was to supplement my full time income, but eventually leave it. Okay. So describe yourself, because that's the person you can serve the best with your educational digital products and your YouTube channel. Okay. So the next question is, what is your offer? And again, just focus on one. So here is my example. So I have a mini course. If you don't know, I have a mini course called How to Create a Digital Product That Will Actually Sell. And I've literally planned batches of videos around just focusing on this mini course. My goal from these videos was to make sales for my mini course. Okay. So this would be my one offer. And of course, I have other offers, right? But this is just going to be my one focus. So just pick one. Then what is your offer focused lead magnet? Okay. So again, it could be a free guide. It could also be a webinar. If you have a webinar that you are running, maybe it's an evergreen webinar or maybe some sort of live experience that you want to promote, then maybe that is your offer focused like lead magnet or call to action that you are going to focus on, but it has to be hyper relevant to your offer. So my example is a free guide, which is how to create a digital product people actually want. Do you see how related these are, guys? So I just want to go back here. My offer is a mini course, how to create a digital product that will actually sell. My free guide is, so it's a 36-page guide called How to Create a Digital Product People Actually Want, right? So it's a 36-page free guide. People get on my email list, and then eventually, after a few emails, I pitch my mini course, okay? So that is the offer-focused lead magnet. Again, if you have any questions, let me know in the chat, and I will get to it at the end. Okay, so those are the questions inside step 1. Step 2, brainstorm relevant video topics that have to do with your offer and your lead magnet. So this is how we are going to brainstorm relevant video topics. We're not validating anything yet. This is just a brainstorm. So the first question is, what common questions do you get from your ICA, your ideal customer avatar? So if you already have an offer, if you already have customers, then, or if you already have an audience, look at the common questions you already get. Okay. So that is already gold. Like that is great information for you to have because you can create content around that. Okay. An example that comes to mind for me actually is a couple of years ago, one of the biggest questions I kept getting, because I sell printable wall art on Etsy, and a common question I get from so many people is, what sizes of printable wall art should I sell on Etsy? And I'm like, why don't I just create a video answering this question for everyone. And I'll even create a free guide. And so I created a video on this. It's on my main channel. Not only did it perform really, really well, but I think that guide literally got almost 10 up until now anyway, almost 10,000 subscribers just from that one guide. And again, I only created it because it's a common question I get. Now you might be wondering, okay, but what do I do if I don't have an audience? If I don't have an audience, if I don't have an offer, and people don't ask me questions yet. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to figure out what questions your niche neighbors get. Okay. What I mean by that is if you should have an idea of kind of like what your channel is going to be about. You're going to find people within that niche. You're going to go to their channels and you're going to scroll through comments in their videos. More than likely, you will find questions and patterns underneath in the comments sections. Okay. That's exactly what I used to do. When I first started, I had zero audience, right? I had no subscribers on YouTube. And so I would go to other channels that covered what I was talking about, like talking about Etsy, Canva, digital products. And I would try to see like, what's their audience asking them inside the comments. And so that's where I would create videos around that. What are some case studies you can share? So a great video topic comes straight from a testimonial or a case study that you have gotten like for someone else, right? So social proof that you can showcase inside a video. And I'll share examples of this in a second. But you might be wondering, but what if I don't have case studies? What if I don't even have an offer? How can I have case studies? So again, this is exactly how I started. You are going to be your own case study. So you can share videos on how you did something. Okay. In fact, those tend to perform better than even videos that are like 10 ways to do something. Okay. So you are your own case study when you're first starting out. Are there any upcoming seasonal trends that you can cover specifically on your niche? So for example, if you are in the home organization and decluttering niche, like my client, then spring cleaning would be like a seasonal trend, right? So you can create videos around that time on spring cleaning. Are there any current industry trends? Now, I'm going to give you an example of this in a second, but I'll just share this anyway. But right now, obviously, for a long, AI is a huge thing, but Claude has been trending like crazy the last few months, right? Like everyone's talking about Claude, which and I absolutely love. I use Claude every single day. And so that would be an industry trend that I could jump on my main channel, right? Because a lot of people are creating videos on how to create digital products using Claude, how I make digital products using Claude AI, right? So I could jump on that trend and create videos around Claude AI. And then let me just take myself off here. What topics come up in the YouTube search bar? Okay. So again, I'm going to show you an example of this, but basically, because YouTube is a search engine, it is so good for this type of research because you can go into the YouTube search bar and start typing in topics that your audience would be writing in the search bar. So again, I'm going to show you an example of this. I'll just show it to you in a second because you're going to see actual screenshots of it. So let's go back now to the questions that we are covering in step 2, right? So these are the examples. So the first question is, what common questions do you get from your ICA? So this is my example, again, taking it back to my main offer and on my main channel. These are the questions I get all the time. How do I drive traffic to my digital products? What's the best platform for selling digital products? What digital product should I start with as a beginner? I get these questions all the time. So I can create a video around the best platforms to sell your digital products. What digital product I recommend starting off as a beginner, right? Now, again, if you don't have questions that you get from your ICAs, you can absolutely check your niche neighbors. You can check the comment sections. What are they asking? What are some case studies you can share? So here's an example of how I would fill this out. So again, if you do not have case studies, you're just going to fill out stories of yourself, what you have been able to accomplish. So here are some of my examples. A student filled her group coaching program using my method. So that is something I can talk about in detail in one video. I could talk about her transformation, her journey. Another student launched her membership and filled up the seats the first month. Another student is running a multi-six-figure business with 5 to 10 coaching clients a month. So these are, again, video topics that I can talk about. Okay. So if I had no case studies, no testimonials, then I would probably, as I'm filling out my workbook, I could say something like, I built a 6-figure digital product business while working full time. I grew a YouTube channel to 350,000 YouTube subscribers, right? So I'm going to be covering my own journey until I can get testimonials. Are there any current industry trends? So I already gave this example. Mine would be how to make digital products with free AI tools. And then what topics come up in the YouTube search bar? So what I mean by that is, let me just make sure, actually, no, okay, the screenshot comes, I think, in part 2. So hang tight for that. But basically, if you go into the YouTube search bar, all I did, I started typing in digital products. Like, that's it. I started typing in digital products, and you will see a drop-down menu from YouTube, and it will start recommending, like it'll auto-populate keyword phrases that your audience is searching for right now. So when I do that, you can even try right now. You can go onto YouTube, go to the search bar and type in digital products and see what comes up. From I saw best digital products to sell online. So that is a topic I can cover because I know people are searching for that. Another thing is I want to cover Canva digital products, right? So I would start typing in Canva digital products and see what comes up. It auto-populated with how to sell Canva digital products. And then I also want to help people sell ebooks. So I could type in, sell ebooks, and then something like how to create and sell ebooks for free would auto-populate. And you'll see examples of this in part 2 of the training. So once you have filled out those questions, again, take your time to fill out steps 1 and 2. But once you have filled it out from all of these methods of finding relevant video topics, you want to narrow your list down to 4 related video topics that could work in a playlist. Okay. I find when I brainstorm, I can come up with like 20, 30 video topics right off the bat. But I also like to plan in batches of content. So I like to plan 4 videos at once, 4 or 5, depending on how many videos are going out the following month. Usually I only do 4 though. So I will plan out those 4 videos and I want them to be connected. And the reason for that is because you basically want to build an ecosystem of content that's all pointing back to the same offer. That's all pointing back to the same lead magnet, the same paid product, okay? Because the more you can market one thing, the more traffic you'll get to that one thing, as opposed to being kind of scattered across many different offers. So you want to narrow your list down to 4 related video topics. Now, if you need assistance, use this AI prompt to help you narrow it down. So there's an AI prompt inside your workbook that will help you narrow your list down. So it looks like this. I create content on YouTube for, and then anything in red, that's where you're going to customize. So you're going to describe your ideal client, okay? So, and then my paid offer is, and then you're going to name your offer. So whether it's a coaching program, a mini course, or whatever it may be. And for example, I would say something like, I create content on YouTube for full-time workers that want to sell digital products online for passive income. That could be my ideal client. My paid offer is, and I could say my mini course on how to create a digital product that will actually sell. And my lead magnet is a free 36-page PDF guide on how to create a digital product people actually want. Based on these topic ideas, and then you're going to copy and paste all the video topics that you came up with, whether that's 5 video topics, 10 video topics, whatever it may be. Help me narrow down 4 video topics that are related to each other, can work together as a playlist, and will naturally attract someone who would be interested in my offer. Okay. I use Claude for this stuff now. Like, it's my main AI tool. And I find what I like about Claude is sometimes it will ask you follow-up questions if it needs more information from you. Okay. So even at the end of this prompt, you can say, ask me any questions if you need any clarification, because I find the more you can give it information, the more customized the answer will be and the more helpful it will be. So here's my example for step 3. Here are the 4 related topics that I came up with for my example, for my offer and my lead magnet. So video number 1 would be 3 best digital products to sell as a beginner. Video number 2 would be how to create an ebook from scratch. So again, do you see how that's still very related to video number 1? Because in video number 1, the 3 best digital products to sell as a beginner, I'm actually, like, my idea for this video is I'm going to be talking about ebooks, workshops, and mini courses. Those are the 3 digital products I'm going to talk about for selling as a beginner. Then I'm going to take one of them a step further. So I'm going to talk about ebooks. So how to create an ebook from scratch, because I'm talking to beginners. Okay. Number 3, how to sell your ebook online, right? That follows right after how to create your ebook. Okay. Now how do we sell it online? Okay. Then video number 4, how to market your ebook for free. Can you guys see how those 4 videos work together in a playlist, right? Because they're all connected to each other. That does not mean I can't create videos around how to sell a workshop, how to sell a mini course. I'm just going to do that for the next playlist. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions on that. Okay, so what you're going to do now is once you have your 4 video topics, you're going to organize them into a content calendar. Now, there's so many different ways to do this. You can do this inside a Google Sheet. So this is a Google Sheet. I used to use Google Sheets for my content calendar, and this is what it looked like. So I used it for this screenshot, and I used to post every single Tuesday. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy and paste your video idea into the day that you want to publish your video. So as an example, I am publishing these videos every Tuesday. So my recommendation is posting 1 video every single week if you can, 1 long form video. It could be 8 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, doesn't really matter. But the consistency will really help you, especially in the beginning. So right now I post every single Wednesday, but I used to post every single Tuesday. And hopefully you can see the text there. But what I basically did was I just copied and pasted these videos into each cell. So the first one is 3 best digital products to sell as a beginner. Then the following Tuesday, that's where I would cover how to create an ebook from scratch, etc. Okay. So just pick one day of the week, and that's the day you're going to commit to uploading your content. Okay. That is as basic as it gets. It is your content calendar. We don't want to overcomplicate it. You just want to know what day you are posting and what the video is going to be about. Now, keep in mind, we have not validated your video topics yet. This is still the brainstorm. In part 2, that's where we are going to zoom in on one of these and not only validate it further, but also figure out what the positioning of each video is. What angle are we going to take from it? And this is going to make a whole lot of sense in part 2. Okay. So I don't want you to overthink it. I just want you to get it all down on paper. Brainstorm these relevant video topics for your offer. Okay. So now I do want to mention that I do have a membership, which is Vision to Views Academy. And this is where I walk you through everything step by step by step. So I just want to share the modules that are included inside this membership and what what is covered. So in module 1, we go through a profitable YouTube content strategy. So this is going to be step by step by step, how to validate your niche, your audience, your topics, how to come up with your best titles for your videos, thumbnails for your videos. So basically the packaging of your video. And you're going to have a content calendar every single month. Module 2 is where I show you how to build your email list using YouTube. Okay. So like I mentioned, building your email list is so powerful when you're using YouTube because people are already trusting you. They're connecting with you inside these videos. And so when they get on your email list, they already know why they're there. Okay. So I'm going to show you step by step, whether you already have an email list or you don't know where to get started, I'm going to show you how to do that. And then in module 3, you're going to film and launch like a pro. So if you've never filmed before, don't worry. I'm going to walk you through all the gear you need. You're going to see me behind the scenes, literally how I film my videos step by step. And I'm even going to show you how to edit your videos as well. And then module 4, you're going to build your profitable digital product. Okay. So this is for you, whether you already have an offer or you're starting from scratch. I'm going to show you exactly how to validate your digital product idea, your offer. Again, these are educational, right? So it's going to be an ebook, a workshop, a course, a coaching program, whatever it may be. I'm going to show you step by step how to build those inside module 4 and how to improve them if you already have one. And then module 5, we're going to accelerate your growth. So this is where we're going to read your analytics. We're going to deep dive into your YouTube channel to figure out what we need to adjust in your strategy in order to continue to grow. Okay. Your analytics is a gold mine. Okay. So you basically need to live in there. You need to check it to make sure that the topics you are covering are truly resonating with your audience and if something needs to be adjusted. Okay. Okay. So, actually, forgot to mention. So if you wanted to check out the membership, the link is in the description box below. If you have any questions on it, please let me know, but you can check it out. Vision to Views Academy. We meet every single week for 1 hour where I answer all of your questions. And if you can't attend live, the replays will be in the members area as well. So you're going to be part of a community that will be helping you stay accountable, answering your questions, and giving you customized feedback on your work. Okay. So now it's your turn. So you're going to complete the part 1 questions in your workbook before the part 2 training, if you can. So again, part 2 is this Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. And if you have not already yet, all the links to the entire series are below. So if you click on them, you can hit the button notify me so that you will get notified when we go live. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and see if you guys have. So if you have any more questions, please let me know in the chat. If you're watching the replay, you can also put your questions in the comments and I will answer them. Okay. So let me see here. Okay. I'm wondering if targeting at parents raising children with big feelings and big behaviors is too broad. I love that so much. So I'm your target audience, so I can answer this from a personal perspective. It's not too broad. In my opinion, it's not too broad at all. I'm wondering, do you have like an age range of the children? So let me give you an example. So I have a toddler and I watch videos all the time on, so whoever has a toddler, I'm sure you can relate right now, but I watch a lot of videos on like how to manage tantrums in public. What else have I been watching? Basically how to manage big feelings. I'm just trying to figure out, like, there is one YouTuber I actually highly recommend checking her out as a great niche neighbor. Okay. By the way, this is for A Brighter Future Counseling. I don't know if I know your name, but yeah, let me know. Okay. So this is for you. So I think you should check out Emma Hubbard. I think I'm saying her name right. Emma Hubbard. I think I'm saying it right, but I watch her videos all the time and she covers that. That is her niche. She talks about like, well, she covers babies, toddlers, and children. But a big focus is toddlers. So that is a great niche neighbor for you to check out. I do not think it's too broad. I would just make sure that I am focusing on a playlist. So if you can come up with a playlist that all work together to guide people to your offer. And that's my other question too. Do you already have an offer that you can direct people to? Because that's going to answer that question. But no, I don't think it's too broad. I think you're definitely on the right track. That is a great niche to get into. What if I don't have any standout topics in my personal journey? So it's such a great question, but I also feel like that is a mindset thing. I definitely felt that way too. This is W Design. Again, I don't know your name, but such a great question. So when I first started, I felt the exact same way. I would challenge you a bit though. What I would do, if you really can't think of like, what if I don't have something to teach? What if I can't share something that people would be like really, really like impressed with and people would like want to ask me questions about it, know more? I would reach out to at least 5 people in your inner circle. So reach out to whoever you're comfortable with, your family members, your friends, neighbors, whoever it may be, and ask them, what have you seen me achieve that has inspired you? Okay. Because first of all, it's a feel good exercise, but also it will unlock blind spots because they're gonna tell you things that you never thought of, right? So, for example, when I first started my channel, I didn't have like this massive story. I still don't feel like I have a massive story. I just share what I have accomplished, and I share the things that I know that other people will want as well. Okay. Regardless of how big or small. So let me give you an example. When I first started my channel, my very, very first YouTube video on my main channel was graphic design side hustle. Like basically tips on how to grow a graphic design side hustle. I wasn't making like a ton of money. I didn't have like a ton of clients or anything, but I figured out how to get clients, freelance clients using Instagram only. And I know beginners starting out, like freelancers, are more than willing to watch a 10-minute video on how to get their first client, right? So again, it's not like I think I was making maybe an extra like $500 a month. Like it's not much, right? I think I had, well, okay, $500 to like $1,000 a month, depending on how many clients I could take on. Because my projects were small, right? Because I was also working full time. It's not like I was making like $10,000, $20,000 a month from freelancing. I was making a little bit of extra money on the side while working full time, and I wanted to share with other people how I was doing it and how they could do it too. Okay. So you're just going to figure out what you can share in your story that other people would sit through a video. And the other thing too is, as you're doing this, you're going to keep growing. You're going to have more and more stories to share, right? Everything I share now, I grew into it over the last few years, and I still have so much to learn myself that I'm going to continue to share in my journey. Okay. So that is my exercise for you. Definitely reach out to people in your inner circle and ask, what have you done that has inspired them? Okay. Cam, let's see. My book is a 42-page health reset guide for Jews, $7.99. Should I create a freebie or a bigger product to sell? I always recommend a freebie. Like always have like some sort of free guide. Unless this is kind of like your low ticket digital product, because technically this is still something that could get people on your email list, and that's totally fine. I'm actually wondering why it's only $7.99. And I'm also curious to know if you've sold a few copies already. 42-page health reset guide. So I'm wondering how you price that. I feel like I would price that a little bit higher, but I would create a free guide to eventually get people on your email list, but I'd also probably charge more for your paid product. That's my opinion. But eventually I would highly recommend having some sort of offer that is more. So let's say you only offer an ebook. I would always recommend having an ebook that you can sell for at least $37 to $47, right? So I wouldn't go much lower than that, because then you would need a very high volume to reach your revenue goals, whatever that may be, right? So that's why I always like having a bit of a higher, like I don't want to say higher ticket, but like something that's higher than like a low ticket digital product, like a $7.99. But yes, I would offer a free guide and consider raising the price on that. Do you use a specific software to share your screen, such as Vimeo? Such a great question. Sorry, to share your screen. I thought you meant this live stream. I'm using StreamYard, by the way, for live streaming, if you guys are interested in knowing. But this is okay. Oh yeah, okay. So I use QuickTime. That's it. So if you have a Mac, you can just use QuickTime to share your screen. I know that's a very, very basic answer, but I've used QuickTime, I think, since I first started. I have used Loom as well. So Loom, I think they still offer free screen recordings up to 5 minutes, but I could be wrong. Like when I used to use Loom, it was free. You could do like 5-minute screen sharings. And then of course they have a paid version as well. But QuickTime, completely free. If you have a Mac, or Loom if you're using a PC. Can we do faceless videos? Yes, you can. I've seen it being done. Now I will say that I always recommend still showing your face, because because I just find it's much easier to connect with your audience when they can see you, when they can see the face behind the brand and behind the videos. Okay. So that's what I recommend. I just want to add that disclaimer. That being said, it is absolutely doable to do a faceless video, depending on what your content is. So I have seen YouTubers that will only share their screen. So if you're teaching something like a specific tool or platform on your laptop, you don't need to show your face. You can share your screen. If you're teaching some sort of hobby, you can do just overhead shots of your hands, right? Like crafting. So you can absolutely do that, as long as there is still that personal touch and it is still educational content. Okay. There's an example I wanted to share. Oh, when I first started learning how to use Notion, oh my gosh, I have to figure out this channel. I think it's called Creative Cove, I think. But Creative Cove, I hope I'm saying it right, it's an amazing channel. It's all about like Notion tutorials, and I don't know what the YouTuber looks like. But I've watched so many of their tutorials. But that's a great example, and they sell a really big like Notion template, Notion dashboard, and they have a bunch of sales. I still don't know what they look like. But that is a great example. So screen sharing definitely works. Okay, so I'm just okay. So your name is Cindy. Okay, so and I work with kids birth to 12. Yep. Yes, I have a membership. Okay, love that. So yeah, I would just use your membership as a guide for what video topics to cover. But yeah, no, you're definitely on the right track. I love your niche. Okay, so I want to create videos on side hustles and show how different ways how different ways to do that. But I want to show how to make invites, how to use focus groups, and even making children's books and coloring books. Okay, sorry. So these are like the side hustles that you want to share. You can totally do that. So I find that sometimes it's kind of like difficult to figure out, like, am I all over the place with all the different topics that I want to cover? As long as you are targeting the same person that has the same goals, you're okay. So the fact that you want to teach people how to make invites and children's coloring books, that is still someone that wants to make money online with their creative hobby, with their creative graphic design hobby. That is perfect. What QuickTime? I didn't know we could use QuickTime. Yeah, so it's just like if you have a Mac, just search QuickTime. I am saying it right? Yeah, QuickTime Player. That's it. Just QuickTime Player, and then you can do a new. Select new screen recording, and it'll record your screen, and you can show your face or not show your face. Okay, so which niche do you recommend for a faceless channel? So this really does come down to you. This is going to come down to your experience, because you're going to decide your niche based on your expertise, your experience, and your journey, right? There are, of course, YouTube channels that, have, for example, like 30 faceless channel ideas. However, the reason I don't want to recommend anything is because it really does come down to who you are, and then figure out how you can create videos around that. So I gave the example of like screen sharing. So for example, if I did not want to show my face in the beginning, but I wanted to teach people how to sell on Etsy, then I would be sharing my screen and not showing my face, and just showing them how to upload their product onto Etsy, not showing my face, right? So that's an example. Another example, maybe you have a sewing channel, right? So that could be a faceless channel. You're just showing the machine, your hands, and the fabric, right? And you're not showing your face. So there are many, many different educational faceless channels. It just comes down to you and your expertise. Oh, okay. This has been so helpful. Found you because I'm also a DCA member. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I love that so much. DCA, Digital Course Academy. For anyone that's curious, Digital Course Academy, which is what Amy Porterfield used to run, which I took it, and I've met so many incredible people in there. So it's so exciting to have you here. Yeah. Okay. So yes, I want to teach moms all about side hustles. I'm a multi-passionate person. So am I. I think we're all multi-passionate. Like I think we all just want to do everything that we're interested in. And I truly wish I could. But it's going to be really, really hard, to attract the right people if we are trying to serve everyone. And I remember learning something like a long time ago. Somebody told me, like, just because you're good at something does not mean you have to monetize it. And I really had to think about that. I'm like, oh, it's so true. Cause there's so many things, guys, I wish I could create products around because I'm so passionate about it. But I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy that as my hobby and continue on with what I'm doing here. Okay. So hopefully that resonates with some of you. Okay. So I think I've covered all the questions inside the chat. If you have questions during the replay, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to grab your free workbook in the description box below. And again, you can check out the membership. You can join us at any time. There is a monthly and annual plan. So go ahead and check that out. Let me know if you have any questions. And I will see you in part 2 of this live series this Thursday. I cannot wait. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.